Today's topic is all about the money, and more specifically, the best ways how to transfer it to your e-commerce business once your clients have made a purchase. My name is Arnis Jacobson, and this is Baltic E-commerce Awards Podcast Season 2, a podcast show where we invite guests from all sorts of fields related to e-commerce. I have a really special guest today from SEB Bank, Evita Panfilo-Bogdanova. Hi, Evita.
Morning.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
For those of you who don't know you, tell them who you are and what do you do?
Shortly about me. I work with cash management product in SEB Bank, also with e-commerce. So basically everything about money, cash flows, investments, savings. This is all I do. So, and today I will talk about e-commerce more. So about advantages, maybe disadvantages.
Perfect. So money revolves all around you every day. We're targeting those e-commerce stores who are really starters, who are only starting their business, and that's why we have to talk about all the advantages and disadvantages, as you told. And let's look at some payment options, some trends, and well, basically, let's look at that. What are the available options, and maybe some recent changes in the payment sectors?
Sure. You know that you as a private individual, you can make payments in different ways when you are buying something online, right?
Of course.
So open banking payments, when you use your internet bank to transfer money to the merchant account, card payments, digital wallets that are actually connected to the cards, and there is a PayPal payment method. But PayPal in Baltics is least popular comparing to others, and the most popular payment method is open banking. And with open banking solution, I would like to say that we are far more in the future comparing to Europe colleagues, because in Europe they only start to offer this solution when merchant can sign one agreement, complete one integration, and get all of the banks available. Because previously, merchant had to sign separate agreement with each bank, make separate integration, which is costly, time-consuming, not very convenient. So, and if open banking payments are more popular in Baltics, maybe because people got used to it, it's convenient, you don't have to look for a card. But second option is card payments. Those are very close, if we look statistically, to open banking transactions. And cards have a lot of different features, like recurring payments, one-click payments, when you don't have to re-enter your card details manually once again every time you do the next purchase. And where I see the biggest potential are those digital wallets, Apple Pay, and recently we started to offer Google Pay in Baltics. Why? Because nowadays people are using mobile phones more and more for everything, basically. And they by default want to have these payment methods available on the phone because it's simple, it's simple, easy, and
I totally agree.
Also, maybe one important thing to mention that those digital payments are digital wallet payments are considered as the most secure ones, because there, to make a payment, your card details are encrypted. That's first, and second of all, the device uses your biometrics, right? Face recognition or fingerprint. And even if phone is stolen, no one will be able to access your data because no full card details are visible on the device, and basically they won't have your biometrics. And maybe to promote card method, card payments more, I will share one story from life, one example. Couple of years ago, don't remember specifically when was it, but there was an announcement that Enrique Iglesias will visit Latvia with his show. And everyone got excited. And tickets got sold out pretty quickly. But the thing is that Enrique didn't know that he has to perform in Latvia. And
so it was a scam, or?
yeah. It was some kind of a scheme. And those buyers who bought tickets online by using card were actually a bit more luckier than others, because with card payments, you have this opportunity in case you don't receive service or product that you bought. You have an opportunity to place a reclaim order in internet bank and get your money back. Of course, first of all, we advise to solve this problem directly with merchant, but in this case, of course, it was not possible. And those people luckily got the money back.
So it's some sort of an insurance as well, yeah?
Yeah, you can call it.
Okay, so from nowadays I will only pay by card.
Actually, I recently bought the tickets for one performance for my kid, some kids show, and my first thought was like, I will pay by card.
Yeah, that's great. And you mentioned all those Google Pay and Apple Pay, and for myself, I'm on that side as well, because when I leave my home and I forgot my wallet, it's a no deal for me. But when I leave and I have left my phone somewhere, Jesus, a panic attack is starting. So yeah, with phones we do everything now, and there are those new fancy rings where you can pay with your ring as well.
Yeah, and watches,
and
everything.
Soon you'll be able to pay only with your face, maybe, or some other biometric stuff.
Most likely, I heard that in some countries they are having identification services in hotels when you have this face recognition and you basically check in.
Perfect. That's the future I'm aiming to.
Yeah.
So maybe there are some recent changes or some trends you've seen in from your perspective, from your client's perspective, because you serve a lot of businesses. So maybe you can talk about some changes or trends in this specific area.
Yeah. We see some changes recently, and I want to ask you a question in this regard. How do you receive invoices from your utility company?
From utility company? Well, actually, they made a new system where I can log in and pay with card, pay by bank link. So I receive actually just an email. Hey, you got new invoice, but I go to the system and then pay there.
Perfect. Then you are lucky, actually. And I'm happy to say that more and more utility companies are actually implementing these services, this self-service portals, where clients or flat owners can make payments directly from the platform. And it's good for merchants, for these utility companies, because they get payments on time. And with less delays, I would say. Because when you have to make a manual payment, it is a bit frustrating, and then you're busy all the time. You have to find the time for it. And in my case, I have a parents' flat in another city in Latvia, and I still receive invoice via email, but that's already a success, because previously it was sent only physically via post. And I would be
go back and forth.
Yeah, absolutely, or collect them for like a couple of months and then pay a big amount of money, right? Which is not very cool. That's why I, as a flat owner, would be very happy if I would have this opportunity to make these payments online straight away, when opening the bill. So I see that more and more small and mid-sized companies are actually implementing these services. So this is not something that big players are looking into.
I actually haven't thought about it this way, but my landlord and utility companies, they're doing e-commerce as well. I haven't really thought about it this way. But I completely agree. So I have a question regarding choosing a payment provider, because I have a couple of experiences previously where I had to choose these payment options, and for one e-commerce store we decided to use Stripe. It was just for that specific time and case. It was a bit easier to manage it and to set up everything, but maybe we can talk and discuss what are some advantages or disadvantages in choosing this local or maybe some global payment providers.
Absolutely. I heard about Stripe as well. and they're becoming more and more popular due to their simple integration. But I would say that local service providers are offering as simple integration as possible. So basically, you don't have to have a specific knowledge in order to implement this e-commerce solution. But if we talk about such a global player as Stripe, merchants, when they evaluate who to choose, they have to take into account that it could be that commission will be much higher per transaction if they choose the global player such as Stripe.
Yeah, actually that was the case.
Yeah, so that's why maybe for merchants it's better to compare different offers to get more information from different sources, from different providers. Then as a second, maybe not a disadvantage, but the thing what merchants have to think about is that there might be an issue to get a customer support. First of all, to get it timely when you need it and to resolve problem situations fast and easy. And also, there definitely will be a problem to get the support in local language because this is a global player and you will get support in English.
Definitely.
So, and if your English not very well, it will just overcomplicate your situation. So basically you have to solve something and it gets even more complicated for you.
And most usually those supports are Indian English, where it's even harder to understand.
Yeah, exactly. It's like very challenging sometimes.
Yeah.
And as far as I am aware, that Stripe, they are quite conservative in the sense that if you as a merchant intentionally, or not saying it right, if you're as a merchant non-intentionally break their terms, you did something that is not going according to the terms they described, but you didn't realize it, let's say, it was not intentional move, they will block your account straight away. And then for you to explain the situation and actually recover your account, it will take such a long time and it will be very, very difficult. And especially this, again, language barrier and so on, you have to think twice before you choose it. And the last thing, what I wanted to mention about Stripe and the local payment service providers is I think this is one of the most important ones for merchants, because for every merchant, is it a big one or is it a small one or is it a startup? The most important thing is how quickly I will get money on my bank account for the services or the goods that I'm selling, right? And with local players, you will get paid, you will get actually the money cashed into your account physically in open banking solution. It will be same day transaction. With card payments, you will receive money from clients the next day morning.
Okay.
And in case you're choosing Stripe, there you have to request this transfer to be done first, and it may take up to 14 days to get these funds on your account. And from merchant's perspective, in order to run business efficiently and to grow and be successful, it is important to get money on time and to develop yourself, develop your business, and continue to
run business.
Exactly.
Actually, this was a case of a friend of mine. He recently started a new e-commerce business, new project, and he got a revenue of around 100,000 euros in 1 week. And he's using Stripe and Shopify, and they blocked their account because they thought it was some kind of a scam or something. But he was just really successful, good product, good marketing. And yeah, this was the case because all the assets, all the money was frozen and he could move forward. And yeah, this is one of the major issues, I would say, once you're choosing the payment option. Because, well, if he would have chosen like local player, maybe the story would have gone a bit better in his case. Of course, he did resolve this case, but it really took some time, and he's moving on. And maybe I should advise him to change something in there. But yeah, let's talk about some case studies, some examples. Maybe you can share some of the client success stories from your perspective. Because yeah, you mentioned about those utilities and landlords that are going into e-commerce sphere. Maybe there are some other interesting examples that we can discuss and yeah, talk about how they are using different these payment options in maybe some of the times even in unique ways. Do you have some examples today to share?
Yes. In the first part, I didn't mention one of the payment options that is available. And actually, before I started to work with e-commerce as a product, I also was not aware that you, as a merchant, you don't have to have even a web page in order to work in e-commerce environment, in order to accept payments from your clients in a modern way, so to say. Let's say you are a merchant and your web page is not developed yet. You are in the process, or you just don't have a web page at all. Then when you start to use e-commerce services, you choose your service provider, you sign an agreement, and then on merchant portal, you have an option to create a link and put this link on the invoice that you are sending to your clients. And when client opens it, of course, this should be communicated clearly with your client so that they don't treat it as scam. But you can put this link on the invoice, and then your client is clicking on the link and he has all the opportunities to make payments. Open banking solutions, card payments, digital wallets, depending on what you as a merchant want to offer to your clients. And maybe one very interesting example, recently, one of our clients, they produce a product, and they're not service providers, and they're selling their goods abroad. And their customers from United States wanted to order samples in order to see how it looks, do they like it or not, and basically to decide, do they want to make a next bigger purchase or no. So basically one of our clients who is producing goods, they're selling their products abroad, and in majority of cases their final customers, the consumers, are from United States. And in order to buy this product, they have to make an international payment, which is quite expensive. Yeah. It is about 20 euros or something like that per one transaction. And what our client decided to do, he decided that he will implement link pay, that he will generate a link and send it with invoice to their clients who are ordering samples. And they will offer card payments there. So basically someone in America will open an invoice for the sample from our Latvian company. They will see the link, will click on it, and will make a regular payment with the card. Okay. So that is very convenient. And we are the ones who are working with the product. Sometimes we don't even realize how creative are merchants and how creative can be those solutions and how they can use our products. Specifically in this client's case, they treat it as a marketing activity for themselves, because they are covering all the costs for the clients, so clients don't have to pay anything, even though commission on international cards is a bit higher than the local cards, of course. But it was completely fine for them. They covered it all, and they use it as a marketing tool in order to make them more available and visible in other markets.
Yeah, from my own perspective, I would look kind of sketchy to click on those links, but yeah, you really have to build trust for your consumers, for your customers to have a leap of faith sometimes and do these transactions.
Absolutely.
But from my own perspective, I always, when I choose some e-shops and I look at the different payment options, if there is no card payments, most likely I will go away. Because, well, for me, card payments is one of the easiest ways to do. So from your own perspective, and maybe from SEB perspective, how do you see the best way to grow volume and sales? Is it by building all the payment options out there, or maybe there are some other tricks and tips, so to say?
Of course, offering different payment solutions for your clients is very important, because we know that one person can get used to one payment method and
Sure.
another one is choosing another payment method. So basically it's all based on habits, most likely, in majority of cases. But it wouldn't be enough to run a successful e-commerce business only with different payment methods offering. You also have to think about the web page as such, about its design. How user-friendly is it? Is it simple to navigate? Are all tabs working on your website? Is this website adapted for mobile devices? Because many people are using mobile devices and they by default expect that your web page will work the same way as it works on laptop, for example. And so all of these things are very important. So basically everything that impacts your customer experience, of course your product should be good as such, or service should be qualitative. But the customer experience, what your consumers are going through when they are scrolling through your e-shop or a web page, it is very important, because if this customer experience was not very good, was not very pleasant, maybe customer got frustrated by something not working well, most likely he won't return back to your shop.
Actually had an experience last night. I was buying some stuff for my daughter, and I was filling that application, the checkout application, and I couldn't press the confirmation button because some field wasn't filled.
Yeah.
And I didn't get feedback, any like animation or anything. So I left because the checkout process was too frustrating for me, and I completely understand it. And basically, this is all about why we have these Baltic E-commerce Awards, because we're looking at the best possible e-shops, best possible experiences.
Yeah, so then others can look and learn from.
Sure, yeah, get inspired and do something about their e-shops as well.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at the flip side, because, it's all good and dandy when everything works out, but let's look about the scams, because the scams and payment, these payment scams are getting really popular. And I recently read an article about how much money was scammed from Latvian people. It was a couple millions. I don't remember exact number, but it was really like a bit scary how people really get into these traps. But maybe you can share from bank perspective what are the main ways people trick, and how can you help in these cases, because nobody wants to lose money like that, but somehow they do.
Of course. There are so many ways actually how scammers are working and what tools they are using. They are sending emails pretending that they are a bank or some government institution. They are placing an ads in social media. For example, they are offering you to earn money very easy, very quickly. So you go from zero to hero like in one week. But this already should be suspicious when someone is offering something like that. And they can even find you on marketplaces, which is actually a very popular thing. When they reach you out and they offer you to pay for the courier delivery of this product, and then they never pay you actually for the product itself. And maybe one of the advices would be never send anything to anyone before you get paid. This is the first thing. Second, carefully check the sender's email address. Like really click on it to see the full address, what is stated there, because they can change the naming, like what you see, you received email from SEB Bank, let's say. And then when you click on it, you actually see that it's like scammers
Completely
at
different.
something. Yeah. So basically check sender's email. When you are planning to make an order on a e-shop, please pay attention to the wording on this webpage, on this e-shop, because if you smell Google Translate all over the place, so it's a first sign, it's a red flag. So maybe you should move and look for another shop. Look for a real recommendation from other people. Is anyone recommending this shop? Is there an address mentioned on the web page in case you have a problem situation and you have to come back to this merchant? Do you really know where to go? Is there a support? And all of these things. So there are so many small things where to pay attention to, but maybe I mentioned one of the biggest ones. These are the first ones that you should look for, and if you see something from this, it's a red flag. So maybe choose someone else. Yeah,
in my own,
especially in such we don't talk about big merchants, big players who are already known by everyone. We are talking about some smaller companies.
Well, in my own experience, if the offer seems too good to be true, most likely it's that.
Exactly.
And the second part, I've noticed that every time a scammer is trying to do something like sending emails or SMS or other, they're putting a real like rush to it. They're trying to hurry you up to like get this offer. This is amazing offer. So usually, when I see these signs, nope, no bueno, I'm not buying this.
Yeah, and they're also using this emotional aspect. They play on your emotions. And then for some people, unfortunately, it really works out and they fall for it.
Yeah, and they can get information from your social media profile and have all the information needed to make you fall for it. But it's a social engineering stuff. Is there anything, Evita, I didn't ask you and maybe you want to share as well?
About scamming, actually, I wanted to share one example and maybe how to mitigate the risk for merchants. You know that there is an opportunity to buy ad on social platform like Facebook or any other.
Of course.
And in order to do it, you have to enter your card details. And for scammers, it is a very, very easy piece of cake that they can get, because they can just get your profile data, they can log into your account. If your password is not secure enough, is not good enough, is not strong. So basically they can break your profile and they will get this information about the card. And then they can do whatever they want. And in order to mitigate the risk of such situation, what we as a bank advise, if you as a merchant want to use these services and want to buy ads on social platforms, because it's a good thing, you can reach your target audience. But for these purposes, we advise you as a merchant, as a company, to open a separate card only for these specific purposes, where you will transfer small amount of money, let's say on a project basis or on a monthly basis, depends on your business activity. You put there small amount of money, you pay for this commercial, and that's it. This account is empty. So that in case someone stole information about your profile credentials and gets these card details, so there will be no money. You will just block this card. And exactly. Yeah. So this is like a hint what to do. And also maybe about what to pay attention to when you are shopping online. When I mentioned that you have to check the wording, what is said on this web page, isn't it a Google Translate and so on? Or is this offer maybe too good to be true? One hint that will help you to recognize the safe web page is that the link should start with HTTPS. And then it means, protocol. That this is a safe protocol and all data, all communication is encrypted and safe to be stored on this web page. So maybe for someone it will be useful.
It's kind of simple, but all these small things add up, and you really have to check all the details once you're transferring your money and trusting someone with receiving that money and receiving a product back.
Yeah.
Okay. For us, time is running quite quickly out, but I think we covered a couple of great things about choosing. If you're a new merchant, new player in e-commerce field, what's the best way to choose the payment providers, whether to go globally or maybe stay locally and enjoy all the advantages that local players can give you. We talked about some case studies. I really like that Enrique case. I will do it myself always as well. Never trust those too good to be true concerts out there. Recently there was an announcement about Beyonce concert. I really wanted to go, but it was a April's Fool Day joke, so I didn't fall for that. But some new great examples about unusual businesses coming into e-commerce sphere, like these landlords or utility companies. We covered a lot, but Evita, I thank you enough for joining us today in this Baltic E-commerce Award show. And is there any other suggestions or good wishes to our contestants this year?
I would like to say thank you for having me here. I hope it was useful and beneficial. And I wish every merchant actually who wants to try e-commerce in their business to really go for it. And if you are not sure, if you have questions, if you have doubts, just contact the payment service provider, bank or any other player, and just ask those questions. So we as a bank will be more than happy to help you.
Just don't be afraid.
Exactly.
Go out there and play.
Exactly. And we will help you through all the process of starting from integration till the payment acquiring.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Arnis Jakobsson, signing out, and see you on another show. Bye.